All right, so since I've got two new people on here that haven't been on here with me to do these math, I'm going to do a little bit of reviewing, okay? And I see there's some more people jumping on, and that's fine, okay? So I'm going to do a little bit of reviewing before we jump into what we have been doing for those new people. So the people that's been with me, just bear with me for a few seconds, okay? We're going to review, but it'll be a good review for you all too, okay? So what we've been doing to the new people, we've been working with these things here, okay? And these are ones, okay? And they kind of look like coffee stirrers, but they're not. They're little sticks. They're math sticks. And these are ones. And sometimes I'll call them singles. So if I call them singles, I really mean ones, okay? And then when we first started with these, we figured out, hey, it's a lot easier to count by tens when we can. So we put 10 together and we put rubber bands around them. And I'll call them bundle holders because I call these bundles of 10. Okay? And that way, if I've got 10 and I accidentally drop them over here with the ones, they don't all scatter out. They all stay together. Okay? So that's why we did that. And I've got a whole bunch of tens made, okay? I mean, I've got a whole container full of them, so we can do all kinds of problems, okay? Then the rule in math is any material you've got, not just these sticks. If you've got my lights went off in my room. I had to turn them back on real quick. All right, I'm not moving enough. So the rule in math is if I've got 10 of something, I need to combine it together, okay? So when I've got 10 of these bundles of 10, okay, I'm going to then make something that looks like this, okay? And I usually stand it up so you all can see it from home, okay? This is 10 tens, and if you notice, I've got it to where I can do it like that and it doesn't fall apart. See these, if I had them here, look, they'll fall apart. Here, if I drop them, they stay together and the 10 tens stay together. And I've been calling this a super bundle. Okay? So that's kind of recaps what we've been doing a little bit. It recaps what these are called. So these are ones. These are bundles of 10. Okay? And I can pick this up and say there's 10 here without counting because there's a bundle holder around it. Okay? And I can pick this one up and say that I know there's 100 here because there's another bundle holder around it. And there's 10 tens. Okay? So that's the materials that we've been working with. All right? So we're going to start out on some really simple problems today. And then maybe by the end of today, I may get to where we was last Friday in the group, in the Friday afternoon. We may not get to there today because today is still a little bit of review for my new kiddos, okay? They're on here with me. But again, it's good review for the ones that have been on with me. So, I'm going to put these over to the side. I'm going to get out my list of problems. All right, here we go. And today, the ones that have been on with me, we got up to where we were covering stuff up. I probably won't do it today because of new kiddos, okay? But we'll see how we go. So I'm going to start with 3 bundles of 10, okay? And for my new kids, okay, let's talk about what this is first, okay? What I can actually see here, okay, it's kind of like the picture you see. I'm going to describe the picture you see. The picture you see is 3 tens, okay? So when I say, what does this look like, you would say 3 tens, okay? Some of you may think, well, it's 30. And you're right, it is 30, but this and that don't look the same. This doesn't look like a 3 and a 0. Okay, I might get the 3 out of it, but I'm not going to get the 0 out of this. Okay, this and that doesn't match. Now, you're correct in thinking there are 30 sticks because 3 tens is 30, 10, 20, 30. Yeah, you're right. But this is the total. Okay? This is the total. So if I say how many are there, or how much is there, or what's the total, you're going to give me the number. Okay? If I ask you, what's it look like, you're going to describe the picture for me. Okay? Which is 3 tens. All right? Now, we do that because I want you to be able to see tens and ones in your head. I want you to learn how to picture this stuff in your head so you can do mental math. If you don't picture things in your head, mental math is very hard. But if I train my brain, and that's what we're kind of doing here, train our brain to say that this is 3 tens, okay, and we kind of see them in our head, especially if we shut our eyes and I can kind of picture these 3 tens in my head, okay, I'm going to be more successful with mental math. Okay? All right. So, this is going to be our start number today. Okay? That's our start number. And I'm going to add this to it. Okay? So when I do this, I always at this point kind of pause for just a little bit to give you all a little bit of think time. Okay? All right. So you're thinking about this. This is where we was started, and now I'm going to add this much to it. When I slide it over there, it looks like this. Okay? All right. I've got Hadley. Hadley, unmute and talk to me.
I think it's 40 tens.
Okay, well, like this said, let me turn you up just a little bit, okay? All right, say that again.
I think it's 40 tens.
40 tens. All right, so is it 40 of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to 40?
Yeah.
So there's 40 of these things?
No.
No. All right. So there's 40 like of these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the total is 40. Okay. It's not 40 bundles of 10 though. Okay. And that's a common mistake. And it's Monday morning early. And I understand. Okay. So, Hadley, what did we start with?
We started with 30.
Okay. And it looked like what?
3 tens.
3 tens. Okay. And I add how much?
1.
One what?
1 more.
One more. Oh, so I'm supposed to do this?
No.
Oh, this is one more. This is one more, what?
10.
10, exactly. Okay, so this is 1 tens, okay? And when I scoot them together, it means that I add them, okay? Now, what's this, folks? Okay, for the new people that are on here, okay, I'm going to separate this 1 over here because it kind of make that look like an H on the screen. Okay, so I'm using 3 plus 1. Okay, so what is 3 plus 1? Let's see here. Austin, you got your hand up. It's 4. Okay, so if I've got 3 tens and 1 more 10, I've got 4 tens. Okay, and so we are using the basic math fact of 3 plus 1 equals 4. Okay, now for my new kiddos that are on here, okay, I'm getting ready to perform magic. Okay, here we go. Watch me. I've got 3 tens plus 1 10 equals 4 tens. Okay, I'm going to change this, the word tens, to a 0 because this is 30. I'm going to change this word tens to 0 because that's 10. And if I take and change this word to 0, that equals 40. And 30 plus 10 equals 40. And boom, I did that without even having to count or anything. Okay? I used what I know. I know that 3 plus 1 equals 4. And since we're talking about tens, all these numbers have a 0 with them. And so I now have 30 plus 10 equals 40. All right. So at this point, I'm done with this problem. Okay? So let's see here. Gray, can you unmute for a minute? All right. Do you understand what I just did?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Did it seem kind of easy?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Let's see here. Ella, you unmute. Talk to me.
I think it was easy.
You thought it was easy too? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And this was an easy problem. Okay. But when we think of it this way, we can use our basic math facts to come up with answers. Okay. And let's see here. Let's see, Jack's on here. Jack, can you unmute and tell me what you think about this?
It's easy.
You think it's easy? All right.
Yeah.
You followed along good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And let's see here. I think everybody else has been on here with me. So I think we're good to go here. We're going to do another one. It's kind of easy, and then we may go into what we were yesterday or Friday. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this. All right. I slide this together because that's my new number. Okay. So think about it. Here's my new number. Look at what it looks like. Okay. And how much this totals. Keep that in your head. Okay. So for us to be able to do mental math, we have to keep numbers in our head. So keep this in your head. Okay. So I'm going to go get a little bit tougher. Okay. I'm going to add this much to it. Okay. So I'm not just adding 1 10, I'm adding 2 10s to it. So I'm going to stop here for a second and let you all think about it. And when you think you could share how to get the answer, remember I said how to get the answer. I don't exactly want the answer at first. You can tell me the answer at first, but I want you to be able to explain the answer and walk me through it. All right, Mr. Austin, unmute for a minute.
If you had 6, well, if you had 2 plus 4, then that equals 6.
Okay, stop right there. Okay, so he's saying 2, and here's the 2, here's the 4, and he says as I add them together, I get 6. Okay, so in my model here, his 2 plus 4 turns out to be 4 plus 2, but it's exactly the same thing. I just flipped it on him. Okay, but his thinking's correct because it's the same thinking. Okay, but Austin, these aren't ones, so what's the label I have to put with them?
You have to put a 0 behind all of them.
All right, but what word could I put here first, though? Okay, I'm going to put tens because I like doing the tens way first. Okay, the tens way looks like the simple way to me. Okay, and then I've got 4 tens and 2 tens, and he's saying that that's 6 tens because 4 plus 2 equals 6. He's exactly right. And then in his mind, he's already at this point. He's taking this 10 and we're putting a 0 there. We're taking this 10s and putting a 0 there. and we're taking this tens and putting a 0 there, and we ended up, the problem that we just solved was 40 plus 20, and it equals 60. All right, great job, Austin. And you know, with your background you have, Austin, and you're sitting in that big chair, it looks like you're on like a big Star Trek ship or something. You're the captain. That's pretty neat. Okay. All right. So Gray, did you understand that? Follow that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Ella, how about you?
Good.
Good. All right, Jack, you doing good too? All right. I don't know. There he is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to slide those over there. And I have that new start number again. Okay. There's the new start number. All right. I'm not saying that out loud because I want you all to hold that stuff in your head. Okay. You got to train yourself to where you can hold it in your head and you can see it in your head. Okay. So I've got this start number. Okay. And the ones that are on here with me all the time, you know that I like big jumps. So I'm going to go a big jump this time. Okay. And if I know my basic math facts, my big jumps are easy. Okay. So I'm going to hush for here for just a second. Let y'all think about that. When you're ready to share, you can raise your hand. I only got 3 people, or I guess I got 4 people. I got 4 people that can share, nobody else. All right, Ella's hand was up first, so I want to hear Ella. Tell me your thinking here, Ella.
So we have 60 for our starter number.
Okay, so she's saying this is 60. And then what?
And then we have 30
Okay.
to add on to our starter number.
Okay. And I'm going to stop.
Six.
I want to stop right there for a second, okay? All right, so you got a big number of 60 and a big number of 30, okay? Let's go back and what's this look like? Okay, how many tens are there? There's what?
6 tens.
There's 6 tens. And how many are here?
3 tens.
3 tens. Okay, so now I can just use these big numbers. Sometimes these big numbers scare us off. Okay, 60 plus 30. Sometimes these numbers like this scare us. But 6 plus 3, that shouldn't scare us at all. 6 plus 3 is what?
9.
9. And we're talking about tens, so it's tens. Okay? And look, the 6 stay the same. The tens turns into a 0. That's a 0. So this one is the 9 stays the same. And look, that tens word, it turns into a 0. And we really did what Ella was getting ready to tell me at first, but I stopped her, that 60 plus 30 equals 90. Okay? But if we think about it the tens way, I can use a basic math fact and it makes it easy for us. Okay? All right. Anybody got a question about what we just did? Raise your hand if you do. If you don't, we're good to go. But if you've got a question, we need to be asking it. All right? All right, I see no hands up. All right, so I've got a whole bunch piled up, and oh my goodness, oh, look what I did. I put them to where you can't see all of them anymore, so you got to hold that number in your head, okay? I did that on purpose. The ones that have been with me for a while, you know I do stuff like that on purpose, okay? So that's my first attempt to kind of hide some stuff on you. You've got to remember what that total was on Ella's problem she just told us, okay? All right, so I've got that number there, and I'm going to add 2 more tens. I'm going to add 2 more tens to that. So when you get an answer and you can explain it, raise your hand. All right, and just to remind you, I can only see Ella right now. It says when I hover over somebody's picture, it says video was paused due to problems in my network. So there's a lot of teachers using our network here at school right now. So if you can push raise your hand, I can see that part. I just can't see hands, actual hands, okay? All right, Callie, talk to me.
It would be 110.
All right, so she's going to tell me that the answer over here eventually is going to be 110. Okay, so explain it to me.
If you add those 2 10s to the 9 10s.
Okay, stop right there. Let me catch up. 2 10s and 9 10s. Okay, and now what?
And if you add them together, you would get 11 10s.
Oh, so I'm just going to do this. 11 10s. Okay, I'm going to put our 110 on down here. Okay, now we're ready to do the number way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 9 10s is really what?
90.
90. And 2 10s is
20.
20. And I'm really using this 9 and 2. 9 plus 2 equals 11, she said. So 90 plus 20 equals this 11 10s, and that 10 turned into a 0, and it's 110. All right. And I'm done, right?
No.
Uh-oh, I'm not done?
Mm-mm.
What do I need to do?
You need to take 110 from the 20 and put it with the 90.
All right, but look, I'm just going to do that.
You can't do that.
I did it.
But you gotta make that. You gotta make 100 bundle.
Oh, so okay, I can do it, but I'm doing it wrong, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so she says I need to do this, and that makes how many 10s here?
10 10s.
10 10s, and I pick them up, and I do what?
You put a rubber band around it.
I put a rubber band around it, and boom, I got something like this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and we call that what?
A super bundle.
Okay, I just call it a super bundle. That's kind of Mr. B's terminology for it. Okay, but really, this is how much?
100 bundle.
100 bundle. It's a 100. Okay, or I could say 10 10s, but it's also known as 100. Okay, I have 110. That's how you say this. 110. 110. I love how that works. Okay, so my materials here, when I say them correctly, should tell me my answer when I get it all bundled up right. Okay, all right. Anybody got any questions about that? If you do, first raise your hand. And I see Ella's hands up, but I think it's been up. So if Ella, if you've got a question, you can unmute and ask me. If not, I think it was just up for the answer a minute ago. Anybody got any question about what we just did? No question? All right. So we've got our new start number, and it's a big one. It's a big old boy here. All right. 110. Think about what it looks like here. Okay. Now, at this point, sometimes I start doing subtraction. Okay, but I'm not going to do that at this point today. I'm going to go ahead and add. I'm going to add this much to it. Okay. When you can explain it, raise your hand. All right, I've got the same people's hands that are raised. I'd like to call on somebody else today. Who else could explain it? Let's see here. I got Kaylee. Kaylee, unmute and talk to me. All right, talk to me. I can hear you.
So if you add two
What are these?
tens,
2 tens. All right. How many tens do I have here?
110.
Okay, I do have 110. That's the total. Okay, but how many tens do I have? This is how much. I know it's 100, but how 10 tens and one more would make 10 plus 1 makes 11. So I've got 11 tens plus 2 tens. Okay, so now 11 plus 2. What does 11 plus 2 equal?
13.
13 tens. All right. So I'm using 11 plus 2 equals 13. Here it is. 11 plus 2 equals 13. But it's not just 11. It's 11 tens. So this 10 word turns into a 0. This one turns into a 0. And that one turns into a 0. And all of a sudden we have a great big problem called 110 plus 20 equals 130. And that's exactly what, when I put them together, that's exactly what we've got here. We've got 100. This is 30. So I have 130. That exact number right there. That's why I love math so much. All that stuff works out like that. Okay? All right. All right, Gray, you got a lot of noise going on there. Try to stay muted until I call on you, okay? All right. Any questions about that? We're getting into some big numbers, but if we use it the tens way, we're not too big of basic facts, okay? If you've got a question, I need hands up. Kaylee, you got your hand up, but I think you didn't put it down. Hadley, keeps going up and down, up and down. You got a question? I'm going to take silence as no question, okay? If you do, unmute and tell me, okay? So I've got this great big number here, okay? It's a pretty good size number. All right. And now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this much. All right. So watch what I did there. We had this number, and I decided to take this much away. All right. Who can explain what went on there? Gray, talk to me.
You're taking away.
I'm taking away. So how many did I start with, Gray?
You started with 130.
130. What does it look like? What does this look like? How much is this? 100. So it's one. It's
100.
100. Okay, and yeah, sometimes I call it a super bundle, but really it's 100, right? Okay, 100. Okay, and this is 3 tens. All right. And I took away, so I subtracted, and I'm going to put them over here. Okay, I'm moving them from here to there. Okay,
You subtracted
the three tens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that means that's gone now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And when I get rid of that's all gone. So what's left?
100.
100. Okay. So I can go back. Okay. I can also say this is 13 tens because this is 10 of them. This is 11, 12, 13. So there's really 13 tens there. Okay. Subtract, I'm going to take away 3 tens. Oops. Better spell it right. Okay. So I'm going to use the basic math fact of 13 take away 3. And 13 take away 3 is going to give me what? Ella.
So if you take 13 minus 3, it would be 10.
It's 10. Okay, up here, 13 minus 3 is still 10, but we've got the word tens with it. Okay, so I'm going to scoot this over a little bit so I can fit something in there. The word tens is a 0. That is a 0. That's a 0. And we come up with this fact of 130, take away, subtract, or minus, however you want to say that, 30 equals 100. Okay? And we did it all with this basic math fact. Okay? All right. Any questions about that? And Callie, I see your hand up, but I think it's just up from wanting to answer. Anybody got a question? All right. So, here we are. We're at this right here. I'm going to stand him up where you can see him. And watch what I'm going to do. Let's see here. See if I can do this. I'm going to sneak that out right there. Oh, yeah. Put it down like that. All right. Hayden has his hand up. Hayden, talk to me.
So you had a hundreds bundle
Uh-huh.
or 110s, and you took one out, so there can't be a super bundle.
But I still got a rubber band around it, buddy.
You have to take the rubber band off.
Why?
Because there's not 10 tens in it anymore.
Well, it's got a rubber band around it, though, so it must be, right?
Uh-uh. You just took one out.
Yeah, I know. Right here it is. So, what are you telling me here? What are you telling me?
100 take away 10.
100 take away 10 what?
Leaves 90.
Okay, so there's 90 here.
9 tens.
There's 9 tens or 90 there. Yep. Okay. I agree with you. Are you satisfied with that?
Yes.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody satisfied with that? Put your hand up if you say, yep, Mr. B's right. Oh, I got some hands up. Anybody that wants to say, nope, something's wrong?
Something's wrong.
Uh-oh, Grace said something's wrong. What's wrong?
You didn't put it, you're supposed to take the rubber band off because you didn't put it back in. Oh,
that's kind of what Hayden was trying to tell me. So you're kind of in Hayden's camp there. That I'm doing something wrong. All right. So can you explain that any better in different words or something?
If it was a super bundle, it would be 100, but you only have 90, so it's not a super bundle. So you would have to take the rubber band off because it's only 90.
Oh. So in other words, I broke my rule. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's what Hayden tried to tell me, but then I convinced him I was right. Huh. Imagine that. Remember, I'm gonna trick you all if I can. Don't let me trick you. I think I tricked Hayden. I think he finally decided either that or he just give up and said, I guess he's right. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Hayden and Gray's correct. Okay, I'm going to put this back in there because it's got a rubber band around it. I can't sneak this out. It's against the rule. The rule is that when you have 10 of something, I've got to bundle them together. Okay, I have right now 10 of something. Okay, the rule is if I break it before I break it, I gotta take the rubber band off. So I can't sneak it out and then unwrap it. I gotta unwrap it. Okay? So it's kind of like, I guess you think it's kind of like a Christmas present. Okay? Before you can open the Christmas present, you gotta unwrap it, right? Okay? So, or at least unwrap part of it. So you can't just go say, boom, there it is. I know what there it is. I didn't unwrap it. That probably don't work. Okay? So yeah, I had to unwrap this. Okay? And I've got now 10. I still got 10 right at the moment. Okay. But they're individual bundles. So then I can take this one away like a 1 and 2. Okay. So in other words, when this was here, I had 10 tens. And when I took this one out, I subtracted 1 tens. And 10 take away 1 is always going to be 9. But we're talking about tens, so it's 9 tens. So this is 100. See that tens turn into a 0. This is 10. That tens turn into a 0. And this 9, that tens turns into a 0. And I have this fact. All right. So Hayden was correct. He caught me red-handed, didn't he? Okay. But then I convinced him otherwise, I think. All right. So, a lot of times I'm going to try to prove that I'm right even though I'm wrong. Okay? I want you to stand your ground. If you know I'm wrong, then call me out on it. Okay? I'm going to try to trick you. Don't let me trick you. Okay? All right. So,